I've been thinking lately about this weird shift that happens to all of us as we get older. Think back to when you were a kid. Everything was just play. You learned to walk by falling on your face, you learned to talk by babbling nonsense, and you played sports by just chasing a ball around with zero strategy. Back then, nobody was optimizing. Nobody was tracking metrics or worrying about their reputation. And the irony is that is exactly why you learned so incredibly fast. But then adulthood happens. Suddenly everything has to be serious. We start asking ourselves, what's the most efficient routine? What's the optimal path here? And weirdly enough, that's usually exactly when our progress starts to flatline. I do not think the real shift is actually about age. It's about the moment learning turns into performance. At the start of anything, whether it is hitting the gym, starting a business, or launching a podcast, you are just experimenting. You mess up, you adjust, and you move on. But then slowly, ego creeps in. You want to look competent. You do not want to backslide. You start caring how it all appears to everyone else. And that shift from exploration to protection changes everything. Because play is about discovery, but performance is really just self defense. And honestly, growth dies when you are in self defense mode. I had personally fallen into this trap myself when I was writing my book on generative AI and building out full stack projects. I found myself getting stuck in optimization loops way too early in the game. I had spent hours trying to perfect a piece of middleware or refactoring code for efficiency before the project even worked. I was so worried about writing clean code that would look professional to all the other developers in the world that I stopped actually building. My ego was protecting my reputation as an expert, but it was killing my ability to innovate. It wasn't until I gave myself permission to write messy code, to just play with the logic and see where it goes, that magic started to happen. That is when my project finally took off. I had to be okay with looking like a beginner again to actually get to the next level. Look at someone like Steph Curry. When he was coming up, every coach told him he was too small and not explosive enough. The safe play for him would have been to stick to the fundamentals, take high percentage shots, and stay near the paint. Instead, he played with his range, not even in games at first, but in practice. He would take these absurd off balance shots from distances that made no sense. He turned his training into mini games. He was basically expanding his ceiling, his horizon through play. It looked reckless until it worked, and now he has changed how the entire game is played. Most of us do the opposite. We try to be disciplined way too early. We optimize before we have even explored what is possible. And we end up mastering a very small and a very boring box. You have probably felt this yourself. At first, you improve fast, your numbers go up, your confidence builds, and then you hit the plateau. Most people respond by just pushing harder. More reps, more hours, more intensity. But skill growth isn't a straight line. It is more like a mountain trail with switchbacks. Sometimes the path forward actually requires you to go sideways or even maybe descend a little bit. That descent feels like a failure, but it's actually just repositioning. If you're stuck, it might not mean you need more effort. It might just mean you need a different angle. And play is how you find that angle. The truth is, It is deeply uncomfortable to break down something that is already working. If you have a decent bench press, but someone points out a flaw in your form, fixing it means maybe your reps will go lower or your weights may be down. That hurts your ego. It says, why would I lower the weight? I have already mastered it. And because of that, you will not change the form and you keep the old pattern and you plateau forever. But the elite does it differently. They are willing to look worse temporarily. They are willing to tolerate that dip because they know that dip is the doorway to the next level. Perfectionists avoid the dip. Players embrace it. Optimization feels smart and disciplined, but doing it too early is dangerous because you might end up perfecting the wrong thing. You might perfect the wrong technique, the wrong business model, or the wrong habit. Exploration widens your options. Optimization narrows them. If you narrow things down too soon, you lock yourself into mediocrity. So when I say you need to play more, I'm not saying be unserious. I'm saying run experiments, try variations, lower the emotional stakes and give yourself permission to be a little bit awkward again. Play isn't chaos, it's just curiosity without the ego. It's how you escape the ceilings you did not even realize you were building for yourself. I'm curious to hear from you. Where in your life are you feeling stuck? Is it because you need more discipline, or is it because you have stopped allowing yourself to play? Let me know in the comments. I would look forward to hearing from you. And if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. We are exploring a lot more of these mental shifts in the next few videos. Until then, keep exploring and thank you for watching my channel. Take care. Bye.